Well, I'm back with another one. It is Saturday morning. I am never up early. It is 6:31 in the morning. And everyone that knows me knows that I am not an early bird. But I felt I was led to make this video. So I'm being obedient and doing what I got to do. So I just had a word or when I got up this morning, kind of stuck with me about smoking weed, drinking. And don't get me wrong, because I'm not here to judge anyone. I smoked weed for over 20 years. It's kind of a drinker. Yeah, I like to drink. Um, so I'm not here to judge anyone. But I did just want to touch on, doing those things. And when you do those things, um, it does affect you mentally and spiritually. And does it prevent God's blessings? Now, God is, uh, you know, going to bless you based on His grace. So it's not based on our actions so much on how He wants to bless us. It's up to His discretion. But at the same time, we are more abundantly blessed when we're operating more in the Spirit. So um, when we are succumbing to the flesh and giving into the flesh, then there are more things that are uh, just have a more of a probability of happening. More incidents will happen. You're willing to accept people, places, and things in your life that are not for you because you're not operating in the Spirit. You are missing out on blessings and opportunities because if a blessing or opportunity comes to you and you are not in the right mind spiritually and have that discernment, you are not able to discern, what's right and um, what is actually in front of you through spiritual eyes. So through my times of doing that, I just noticed that I would always have dreams and aspirations to do things. Oh, because when you smoke weed, you're going to think a lot of it. You're going to have a lot of ideas. You're going to get very creative. But it's all about, are you really making moves doing that? And again, I believe that with obedience, God blesses us with more when we're operating in the Spirit. So when I used to smoke cigarettes, smoke weed, drink. Um, and every time I would be outside just smoking my cigarette or smoking, I would always hear his voice like it was telling me, like, you need to quit. I would always hear that voice, or it was my conscience. I'm not sure what it was, but I would always hear that voice to stop those things and that it was a hindrance. And I mean, for years. And then just one day, I don't know, I just heard him say, okay, just stop for 6 months, see what you can accomplish in 6 months. Um, and I did that, and not saying it was easy, but I did it. I made a promise to him, and I make that promise to him, it can't be broken. So I knew once I did that, you know, I wasn't gonna have any, you know, it was gonna be a lot easier to stick to that promise. So when I did that, I mean, I did so many things I had for years, just to plan to do and goals that I had. I never really put action into it until I stopped smoking weed and drinking, and I just see more come to pass, not only spiritually but in all aspects of my life when you stop doing those things. So it's okay. Well, let me give it 6 months then, see what I can do. Man, by the time that 6 months was over, I wasn't even interested in doing it anymore. I just lost all taste for doing those type of things. But so like I said, I'm not here to judge anyone because everyone knows me back in the day. Camille used to smoke a good fat blunt back then. So, and it wasn't that long ago. So don't get me wrong, because I've been there and that was, just something that I like to do. But just keep in mind that God blesses you with more when you're operating in that spirit, you're discerning more. And like I said, just things are more liable to happen, especially drinking. Now, even like I said, smoking, you have more. You lose more of your inhibition to actually put action into things. You're looking kind of more for, and I guess speaking more for myself or maybe most people, you're seeking more of just to kind of be entertained, and you're not really getting things done. You're accepting things in your life that you would normally accept. If you really had those spiritual eyes, you're kind of just floating. And, God just doesn't want us to just float around in life. And then again, it's not what you do, it's how you do it too. But of course, I would say that it's best not to do it at all. But someone like me, I was an everyday, smoker. But it's just always best to have that clear mind, have that spiritual discernment, because you can connect with God more when you're not operating in the flesh, or having your mind diluted with different things and substances. You're not operating on your own brain chemistry, so um, that's affecting you. And I remember when I'd be high or drunk, things would happen. I'm like, it's just little weird things would happen. I'm like, am I tripping, or is God trying to show me something, or am I tripping? Am I high? Oh, it was just too much going on. So yeah, I just noticed a big change. And for all those who are trying to quit, just do it. You just and you can usually know when it's really getting time, for you to quit. I mean, there's always no better time to quit, but when it really comes down to it, you'll start hearing those, that voice and that conscious. When you get high and drunk, you feel out of alignment. When I, towards the end, before I quit, I would smoke and drink, and then I would feel like I'm out of alignment, or like I was more sensitive to more negative energies. Like my senses would be heightened, but it kind of wouldn't feel like in a, um, not so much in a good way all the time. It just felt like I was not in the will of God, and maybe it was my conscience too. I just felt like this is not the way I'm supposed to be. I was floating, and I felt myself. It was like I can feel myself from the outside looking in, like I'm just floating around here, and having a good time in one way, but in another aspect, it was just not. It just felt like that's just not what I was supposed to be doing, and that's not what. It was just a different realm, and just not how I was supposed to be operating. And little things would, like I said, happen around the house. Just more incidents would happen. Like it would just get kind of, I don't know. I can't really explain it. It just didn't feel like that's what I was supposed to be doing, And I'm speaking on behalf of myself. Everyone has their own journey and things that they will experience, especially when it gets time, when they know it's time to leave that stuff alone. So, like I said, did it for many years, and it was a huge part of my life. So I get it, but just just know that when you quit and have that clear mind, you're getting so many more things accomplished. You're going to have a closer relationship with God, because you'll be more in commune with Him. When your brain is diluted, you're kind of more into partying and doing things that entertain you, and um, you're just not really aware of your surroundings as much, the people, places, and things that you let in your life. And then um, when you're not operating in the spirit, you end up having relationships with people that are not for you, or having sexual desires that you shouldn't be having, or having sexual encounters with people because you're just partying or you're drinking, and it's just not, it's not it. So, um, yeah, but like I said, God blessed us with our grace, because even when I was in that realm, God still had His grace upon me, and He had mercy upon me. But I never seen as many blessings come in that I seen when I stopped doing those things. So you will definitely elevate, just not spiritually, but not only spiritually, but mentally, physically, and that's another thing that will have effect on is our physical health. God grants us grace, but if we keep doing those things, whether it's drinking, smoking, cigarettes, anything that can affect you, once you keep doing it year after year after year, God gives us grace, but some people have less grace than others, and you have become affected uh, physically, and your health starts to crumble. That's another thing you'll elevate in. Once I quit those things, I started working out, being more health conscious. So you just overall blessings all the way around once you decide to just operate more, or at least have the desire to operate more in the spirit and not so much the flesh. So that brings me back to, it was a verse that I used to know early in my 20s. I didn't know, but I know, I think it was Romans 8 8, I believe it was. Don't quote me on that. But yeah, check out that verse, Romans 8. I wouldn't get it out now, but yeah, it's about operating in the flesh. So Romans 8 8. Take a look at that. I just love Romans 8 because it would always talk to my conscience, even though I wasn't uh, at that stage in my life. My early 20s, oh, it's big weed smoker. Oh, bigger than ever. But I would always still have that spiritual foundation. Even though I was doing my thing and doing things that I wasn't supposed to, I would always hear God's voice and have that conscience and that foundation. So that verse, Romans, used to always stick with me because it spoke to me a lot. They all do, but that was one particularly that I remember. So yeah, guys, I just want to come here early morning, no filter, no makeup, and I just felt that God leaded me to come on, because like I said, I am not a morning person, and it is Saturday, and never up this early. So I just want to come to you with a video, and I see you soon, and more blessings to you. I declare and I decree the power of Spirit of God over your life, and may you see the truth in every person, place, and thing and desire that you do in your life, and more blessings to you and spiritual elevation. And I wish the best for you all, and I will talk to you guys soon. Don't forget to like and subscribe and share this video. All right, so I will see you soon.